Hi everyone, Raya here and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel if you are new here. And of course, don't forget to click the ring button beside the subscribe button so that you'll be notified whenever I have new uploads. So, as you can see, I'm not in my glamorous mode and well, here dealing with messy hair buns and the nerdy glasses, and just me in my very simplest essence. Because today is another lifestyle video, and today I'm gonna talk about all the movies that I think you should watch in this lifetime. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go through it one by one. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about the movies in no particular order, but whichever comes to mind. So the first movie that I wanted to share is a classic, and I think every dog lover has already seen this movie, and it's about Hachiko. Well, Hachiko is the name of the dog, and I think born in Japan, and then he was shipped to the America, and he was adopted by a very kind and loving family. Was the dog of the professor, like the professor in a state university somewhere in the US. I forgot which university he was teaching in, but the context is that the professor and the dog has really gotten close. The dog and the owner would walk to the station, and then Hachi would accompany his owner, and then he waits there until the owner comes back from his classes for the day, and then they walk back home together. And well, it's a very tear-jerking story, and if you haven't seen it, then I suggest that you really watch it, because one, it's about dogs. I mean, how can you not watch something about dogs? And it's about the connection between the dog and its owner, not in a very commandeering way. Like it really establishes the relationship that there is between man and a dog, and it also explores the idea that the dog is a man's best friend. So I won't spoil too much just in case you haven't seen the movie, but it is really a highly emotional film. And even I, back then when I first saw it, I was really not into animals. Like, I'm not an animal lover, but at that time we had two dogs named Saisi and Cyber. Saisi died a little earlier because of, I think, a sickness. I forgot what kind of sickness it is. I think it's pneumonia or something, but she died on an early age. And then Cyber, her sibling, Cyber is the one that I grew up with, and in fact he has babysitted my third sibling, the youngest in our family. And at that time I was really not close with him because I have a deep grudge with that dog. Cyber ate my favorite sandals, and since then, we have an internal war. I feed him, I pet him once in a while, and I let him lick my hand when nobody's watching. And sometimes when I'm sad, he just sits with me and he comforts me. And he's so well behaved. Well, not really, but he's a very lovable dog. And after watching Hachiko, I was really moved to the point that I cried and I hugged Cyber afterwards. And well, after that, the eating sandal moment was not forgotten, mind you, but it wasn't too heavy for me now, so I forgave him for that. And our pet Cyber looks so much like Hachiko. Like, oh my gosh, there is a close resemblance. I don't really know what the breed of our Cyber is, but I think it's a very close breed to that of Hachiko. So yeah, story time over. Watch Hachiko if you haven't already. The next movie is a recent favorite, and I think you may tell me that I'm biased since I really love Sarah Geronimo. But trust me, this is her best performance yet as an actress, and I have seen all of her movies, I have seen all of her TV shows, and this one is the best so far, like the best. Although they didn't really showcase her singing capabilities in this film, but her acting prowess is really highlighted in this film, and it's called Unforgettable. It was showing last October 2019, and my fangirl self actually went on a movie tour. Saw her singing the theme song of the movie, and the movie is all about Jasmine, which is portrayed by Sarah Hieronymo herself. And Jasmine is a person or girl who has special conditions, aka autism. She has autism. And what I like about this movie is that it really highlights how an autism person does her everyday routine. Like, they have very, very solid facts here. The movie or the screenplay, whoever did the screenplay, is very much knowledgeable about the fact. The movie is well researched, and I like the fact that Sarah Hieronymo has an immersion with the Autism Society of the Philippines / ASP, and it was really an eye-opener for me and for a lot of people as well. It's not the typical Filipino family movie that you tend to see over the years. It's a very, very fresh idea, fresh story, and it is something that is close to my heart. So you can see why I am very much attracted to this subject matter. And also, not only that, Sarah Hieronymo has his leading man has a dog. Yes, so like two birds, one stone. If you're an animal lover and if you want to know more about autism, then you should need to watch this film. I know not many people are very fond of watching Filipino movies nowadays because they are not as substantial as they were before, but I think the Philippine movie industry is coming to a point that they are really exploring a lot of new ideas, new facets of learning, new facets of genres, and this is one of those Filipino movies that is going to be a classic. The story is very much predictable. It isn't really filled with plot twists. Like, you can even predict or see how the story is going to be, but the authenticity and the realness of the movie itself is very executed. And I really thought that Jasmine was a real person, not a movie character. So if you want to know more about autism, how they do in their everyday lives, how they interact with other people, and how animals can affect them, then go watch Unforgettable. I don't know if this is available in movie streaming sites. Just search for it online. It's not showing anymore in the cinemas, but I hope that it will be available soon on Netflix Philippines because a lot of Sarah G movies are, and this is by far her best movie yet. So the third movie is another unconventional topic. It's not widely seen in a lot of Philippine movies, and it's the movie Buybust, starring Ann Curtis. My God, I am so happy that the Philippine movie industry is headed towards this lane, more indie feels, indie vibes and the ideas, and they're just new. It's not really new, but I like that they're including a lot of social issues, cultural issues, moral dilemma, like things like that are very, very good for me as subject matter or topics in a movie. And Buybust is very, very, very enlightening. Like, wow, this is how the real world works. And it's about a Buybust, a drug operation featuring the I forgot the group of people who conducts drug operations so they can like so they can bust out drug operations and drug teams, drug groups. Oh my god. Help me. Well, Ad Curtis is part of that group, and then they conducted a drug buy-bust operation. And the whole length of the movie is about a single buy-bust. Like, I thought it was from different scenes, but it's not. It's just one operation in the whole entire movie, and it depicts how a town, or no, an area within Tondo. Tondo is known for like a lot of crimes, especially drug dealings and such. So it shows like how the conditions in that area shaped the residents to be drug dealers, drug buyers, drug sellers, and sometimes, it's not an ideal world. And when I watch these movies, I, as an idealist, was very much intrigued and scared and shattered, because this is real life. This happens in real life. And suffice to say, one very impactful message that movie gives to its viewers is that sometimes the evil, or the root of evil, is within the government. Like, our government system is not the best. There are a lot of scary people within the government, and the people with the authority themselves abuse their authority in the name of money, for the love of money, in the hopes that they will be hoarding a lot of money for themselves. So it's so sad, but in a way it's enlightening, and I hope that everyone that watches this film will have realizations and will not stop there. They will somehow, in their own little way, try to combat graft, corruption, and drugs, and everything that is very, very, very persistent in our government, which will not do everyone any good. So yeah, I hope that we as Filipino citizens will be able to learn a lesson from this movie, especially Buybust, and just take a course of action, and somehow, someday, maybe this system is gonna change, and we'll have something that is very close to an ideal government system, wherein the good guys are the good guys, and the bad guys can be busted and can be thrown in jail, and they can't be bailed out, or they don't have any accomplices within the government or the police. This movie is so nice. The movie that I'm gonna talk about is an Indian movie. It's called My Name is Khan, and the amount of lessons that I have realized from this movie are important and essential to my character. First off, the main character of this story, Khan, has Asperger's syndrome, and well, you know that I am a sucker for those type of movies. But not only that, he is a Muslim, so he practices Islam, and at that time, Islam people, or Muslim people, were associated as terrorists. They were labeled as terrorists. I can't really summarize the whole movie without giving away too much of its beauty that you should need to unravel on your own. But was um, accused to be a terrorist, especially when he was seeking out the president because he wanted to tell the president that he is not a terrorist. And along the way, he even helped a lot of people. He helped a Christian community, even if he is a Muslim. So it does not only tackle how Asperger's syndromes are prejudiced, how Islamic people or people who practice Islam as a religion are pegged as terrorists. It also transcends cultural and moral boundaries. The fact that a Muslim is helping a Christian community is very, very impactful. It sends out a very huge message that at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and being good is not associated with your religion. Being good is not because you are a Christian, you are an Islam, you are a Jew, you are a Protestant, you are an atheist. Being good should be at your core, at your essence. Being good is something that is innate in human being. Being good is something that should be established in your humanity. And I think nowadays humanity is really losing its touch. Humanity is scarce. Humanity is rare. Kindness is a necessity. It's a luxury, and I think we need to bring it back. We have to choose kindness, love, and goodness, ultimate good over evil. The idealist in me loves the concept of this movie. It transcends all religions, every religious issue. It transcends cultural aspects, like the guy married an Indian woman and they're fine with it. I mean, they're trying to show that that is normal. No matter what race you are, no matter what culture you come from, no matter what ethnicity you have, nationality, no matter what religion you have, no matter who you are, at the end of the day, you are a human being and you need to be humane. Wow. So profound, so deep. Okay, so last but not the least, I don't even know which one is at the top, but this is a very recent movie and it has won awards in, I think, at the Oscars, and it's Best Picture. And this movie is called Parasite. Now, Parasite is a film from South Korea, and let me tell you, South Koreans have it strong at this game, at the entertainment and movie and show industry. They are very, very good at making a lot of stories, incorporating a lot of social issues, moral issues, cultural aspects, and in this movie they have covered all of that facets, all of that aspects. It goes to show how Korea is divided between North and South, and then they also tackled about poverty in South Korea, which isn't really prevalent in a lot of South Korean TV shows or movies, because usually they only show the good side, the rich side of South Korea, but they are also a normal country, and like all normal countries, there is also poverty in each of the countries. So they showcased that part of South Korea, and they did not censor their status, their economic status. The story revolves on a poor family and how they managed to land very high-paying jobs from a very rich family. And some might say they are swindlers, con artists, but I see that as making the best of your conditions, your social and economic status to have a job, and they are really ingenious at landing their jobs. Some might say it's a bit immoral, it's a bit bad, but the way I see it, they are shaped to think and act like that because they are not very much privileged. This movie explores the privileges of a human being. If you are a rich man or if you are a poor man, you are exposed to different privileges, and this movie makes you think about that. At the end of watching this movie, we had a discussion. I actually watched it with two of my friends, and we had a very long discussion about it and about how it changes the way we see about morality, the way we see things in a bigger aspect. And I love the kind of talks that we generated from this movie, from watching this movie alone. So if you are someone who is trying to find himself, having an existential crisis, this movie is a must watch for you, and maybe somehow you will find who you are as a person based on your morality, on where you stand in the moral scale. Disclaimer, this movie has a bit of a gory side to it, but me, I'm a very skirmish person and I have looked way past that, so you can look way past that too. Just a disclaimer so that you will know what to expect from this film. It's a little bit dark, it's a little bit unconventional, but it makes you think. It makes you think on where you stand on as a person, on how good or tight your moral compass is. So yeah, it's a very interesting movie. It sparks a lot of discussions, and well, I think there will be a long withstanding debate on whether or not we should hate the rich people or hate the poor people just because of this and that and that and this. So yeah, what I can say is I don't think that we should hate the rich people. At the same time, I don't think I can hate poor people, and there is a reason why a lot of people who are poor commit crimes, because they have to survive, and survival of the fittest. Sometimes you need to do whatever it takes for you to live, to survive, and that's where you should draw the line. Which line must you not cross? Which line must you keep defined, so that at the end of the night, at the end of the day, you will sleep and your conscience will not bug you. So yeah, very very good movie. I salute the cast, the crew, the directors, the screenplay, the script writers. Very very beautiful movie. Oh yeah, I guess that's everything for me today, and I hope that some of these movies are also your favorite movies as well. Comment down below if you have watched any one of them and what are your thoughts about them. And if you enjoy this video and if you want me to create more videos with the same idea or context, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out.